Okay.
Yes.
All right. Cool. So welcome to I guess it's is this the Sheraton banquet?
This is Sofitels, Mexico.
Got it. Got it. This is so what you sent me. I thought we were going to actually build, everything right to the T, but I totally understand. Just to get the assets loaded in, and that was actually the most important thing to see if we're able to load what you send over into World here. So I think the way we set it up, having you have an account and you can just directly upload from your computer is the best way to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, okay. So just jumping right into it, if you don't mind. So Ben actually sent me an email last night, and he was asking how we can integrate what you already have into this. So this is my thought with it. Not that we're trying to change anything that Visium Media does. I think everything that you folks do has a purpose, and there's a value to it, and you're already doing business with it. So I wouldn't want to jeopardize that business that you already have, right? So the part that I'm looking at is what's the possibilities in, when a client actually clicks on the link in those experiences when they're looking around, that we could recreate new experiences to, gauge them to, do a click to purchase, or it could be, go to an event. It could be maybe a substitute to a Zoom because they're Zoom fatigued, right? Or it could be, maybe the hotel has connections with musicians that used to do live concerts. Now we can actually put on concerts and sell tickets to those shows, right? The other thing is what we've been working with the Chamber of Commerce is building storefronts, okay? And to where they can invite people. All it is being a master of invite to the experience, and then they can bring folks into that store and get that shopping experience. We're also working in food service where, we're trying to, seeing that the restaurants now are going curbside delivery, we can give the experience of actually dining out again, right? The other thing, most important, that's really dear to my heart right now is the education. So we're building classrooms for teachers that can reconnect with the students, because there's basically three things happening with the schools right now. Is they either go to school, they have to follow every rule with the COVID-19 plan. They either go to school or it's half at school or half at home. So now there's time where the kids and the students are at the home, and then there's totally each semester they're doing total virtual learning, where when we asked a couple teachers, especially in the special education, what are you not able to do right now with all the restrictions? You'd be surprised what we found out. And we said, well, we can recreate that all in virtual reality, just how to implement it and how to create the experience per classroom. So we're finding that a lot of teachers like the thought of using virtual reality to go on field trips, as well as just to know that the students engaged into the curriculum. So education, I would say, is another opportunity. Of course, remote working. I mean, right now we're from different locations and we're meeting in one place. We're able to collaborate and work together to get things done. Yeah. So I think that the list can be endless of what we can come up with it, but I think we should really focus on what you folks already do and what's working, and then how to extend off that and continue providing, new solutions to your client. Yeah. So I know Ben just said, hey, let's see what we can do in this room. So we kind of replicated what you already have, but I would say what we could do is to get them used to that space and other things they can do. We start creating scenarios, right? So what we could do is we could start making all these different I guess events that could be happening in that room, and it's at a point where all that is just clicking on that link, and guess what? It changes it to some other event, right? So this could be like a banquet where maybe there's a key speaker or whoever up on stage, and you know, maybe it's learning about new businesses out there, right? So people could sit around the table. Over here, I actually put a sip point on this. Oh, where'd you go? Yeah, over here. So I realized that the, yeah, right here, if you click on the table, it will actually sit you down in this chair right here. And then what we could actually do is all these objects, we could bring them in one by one and put collision on it to where you can interact with it. So maybe you're doing a chamber of commerce, right? You're bringing all the business together. Maybe the chamber puts on a delivery of all the meals, so the meals get delivered, you know, and right before they get ready to come in the meeting, they get to sit down and actually have a meal together, right? So we're trying to be really creative with using virtual reality. The cool thing is you don't need to have a VR headset with this, yeah? They can do it right from their PC desktop. Yesterday, what was cool when we were talking to the San Diego Chamber of Commerce, they said, hey, you know, I like the thought that I can be in my office doing work and then interacting with all the key personnel in business from far and wide, right? So with that being said, I mean, I like to get your feedback and what you think and what you see could be some possibilities with integrating a fully immersed with an avatar with what Visium Media is doing right now. I think your mic's off.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
Okay, cool. I think I just clicked the mic accidentally.
Oh, no worries.
Headset.
No worries.
Now, I think the main question would be first, because I know that there's a big difference in between this and a 360 picture.
Right.
For us, most of what we do is based on 360s and CGI within the picture itself. I don't think, is there any way that we can bring a picture and we can build something like this? Or is it we have to go through the traditional way of bringing the assets into an empty space, just as we are building in Unity or an Unreal VR experience? I think that would be my first question.
Okay, so I have experience with bringing in the 360, the 360 view of it. I just haven't, you know, spent enough time on to see if it can be trying to pick the best word to actually move around in it, right? So
yeah, to be trackable and to
right.
You know, have a spatial area.
Right. So let me do this. I'm going to throw up a portal for you, and I'm going to take you to what I actually have a 360 sphere. That what I'm doing is I'm actually using it for like the meditation and everything. So let me show you this. What we could do is it would just be a matter of how the file is uploaded into YouTube. But what I was thinking is you folks do aerial visuals, right?
Yes, we do.
What we could do is we could take that aerial visual of that drone flying around. We could actually put it in a 360 sphere, and we could actually put like a platform, like they're on a platform, actually being the drone itself, or being in like some sort of aerial craft drone to actually see the whole visual. So, do you have like a YouTube video that you've taken with your drones?
We probably do. I'll have to reach out to the contact manager to give it to us. Okay,
so what I'll do is I'll just bring you to the concept, and then, you know, I'll show you how we could actually integrate. And that would be just a clickable link. But now this is the thing. Right now, I would say they're saying that they're not going to have a web-based platform until about 8 months from now, right? They're actually working on it right now to have it where what we're doing right now can be in a web-based solution, okay? So I know Ben was saying, hey, you know, what we need is we need something where they can just click on it and they're in there. It's not you know, not requiring a download, anything like that. But the thing is, we all know that in order to operate a VR headset, you're going to have to download the application and run it on your system. So if we are like scraping that to the side saying, hey, we're not even interested in doing the full immersive VR headset route, then I would say then it's probably going to be about 6 to 8 months to do what we're doing here and have it to where they could actually click on the scene and actually have an avatar to interact with other people, right? And that's the value that I think that's the most important thing, is that, you know, being able to be in third person or actually be looking through your avatar with other avatars on the other side is what, you know, the main thing that we're looking for. So it gives that virtual presence, right? But just from reviewing your site and knowing all the other things that you do, I think there's other opportunities in there as well where you can get the opportunity where the person can be fully immersed into the drone, and then what we could do is we could actually create new worlds that they could actually say get dropped off by the drone. Now they're immersed in the world to experience the whole thing there, right? So it's like imagine having like a trolley taking you through the zoo, right? Well, in real life, there's only so many animals in the zoo, but what we could do is we could push past the barriers and create new things in there to make that zoo feel like it's bigger, right? No different than MGM Studios, where, you know, they'll take you through and you're only in one room, but it feels like you went in a whole nother world and you're traveling through it, you know, with their roller coasters and stuff, right? So let me go ahead and throw up a portal and keep asking those questions. Let me see here. Visited. Okay, here we go. And then what I'm gonna do as soon as I go in there, I'm gonna change the video to like us flying like through the islands and stuff. Okay, so here's. Go ahead, click the portal. I'll meet you over there. Ah, there you are.
Oh.
Okay, so what we can do here is we could take your drone footage and then turn it to where they're actually immersed into it, which they already can with what you already have. But the thing is what we could do is this this teleporter that we're standing on, we could actually make it go farther into the scene, right? We could actually have clickable objects inside, and then it'll move the teleporter to maybe, it's like, say we're flying and we see this, like that house down there, right? We could put a little link on that house, like down to the bottom right hand side, and then click on, and then the teleporter would actually go down there, and you could actually go inside the house. So we could actually recreate, I guess it'd be like clicking from bubble to bubble, right? Or we actually recreate the whole scene, or a new imagination that they could be in. But it could be, you know, of course this is like, you're going to be doing it for your clients, right? So they'd probably have products or services they want to sell as well, which then, you know, you could use the experience as the heavy lifter, right?
Cool.
Yep. So yeah, so 360. So I was going to ask you, so the Matterport, I believe that's not like a 360 solution, that, or how should I say? I'm trying to think of the technical word. So what I'm using here is a 360 sphere, right? But if I'm going to create a skybox, that's actually going to be a square, right? So how would the files actually be? Would it be 360? You know, I'm not understanding I guess the format on how Matterport is. All I know is I brought Matterport into Blender, decimated a little bit to bring down the poly count, and then brought it into Sanzar as one piece, right? And then what I did is I went and not that I retextured it, I just put collision into it so that everything was, you know, like the way it should be in real life, right? Colliding into it and stuff like that. And then I just uploaded the PNGs that they had for the map that was laid out.
Cool. How do you manage to do that? Because we tried to work with Matterport OBJs and textures for a mess.
Yep.
Very difficult to.
Yep. Have you been to the Matterport location that I loaded into Sansar? Ben actually sent me a file a little while ago, and I uploaded it into Sansar. Here, let me throw up a portal real quick. Don't want to get you dizzy here. Let's see here. I'll throw up another portal. Okay, here we go. So let me go ahead and throw this portal. I'll take you to a Matterport. There you go. Just click on the... I think your audio might have went out again. Okay.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yeah, so
this is cool.
yeah. So this is actually a Matterport file. As you can see, it's a little bit distorted on the walls. So when we were starting this project, okay, I was, my knowledge of all this was very limited, right? But now I understand everything what was what they're explaining to me. So what we did is we just recreated the items, right? So see how this table and chair is all distorted? We just recreated it, and all I can say is the creators that we're using at the time were able to pretty much recreate that to almost look like in real life, right? But again, there's a cost to it, right? I mean, Ben understands that, that to get, a really high-end creator, I mean, that's going to cost some money. But what I was at that time, we were talking about how to get a return on your investment, right? So what I was proposing is that, Ben would have to get the, I believe, digital intellectual property is different than in real life property because it's digital, right? I mean, if you change it by a certain percentage, it's totally your creation, right? So what I was saying is like we could actually recreate everything in there, change, something just by a certain percentage so it's not the exact. And then what we could do is create an actual e-commerce where we create a store where then what Visium Media becomes is you become like a creative studio where you actually have your own Kit Bash or your CG Trader or your Turbo Squid account, right? And then you can basically keep selling the chairs over and over again, right? Because what I can say is, especially with Sansar, I mean, a lot of people from Second Life are coming over to Sansar, and those folks have, I mean, this is their living, right? They create the items to sell, and that's how they make their paychecks, right? So
yeah, I remember Second Life.
Yep.
Sorry, I'm just moving around, checking it out.
All good, yeah. Yeah, so what I did to dress this up is I just brought in some things to cover up, the distorted stuff. And, when you first come in here, you're like, oh, that looks a little odd. Well, it's just because I didn't replace it with anything, right? But the cool thing, Antonio, is that you could use this dollhouse as a map to design, right? So say you did go back to the hotel and you say, hey, we can create this whole scene to where you can I think at the time Ben was saying, hey, can we change the colors of the tapestry? Can we move things around? Because the hotels are always redesigning to always have that new look, right? And I said absolutely, and it's just a matter of recreating the experience out and then keeping everything organized, and then you just go in there and retexture and change the materials anytime you want. Yeah,
the textures are usually the least complicated thing when you got the right assets. Oh, this is cool.
Yep. So this is that Della Suite. I can't remember, Della Suite, Embassy Suites, I think.
Yeah, the tour is there.
Yep.
Hold on. Oh, this is cool.
Yep. So
awesome.
Yeah, so what I did is I actually had a couple people collaborating with me. We went and collisioned everything out, so that way you can't like walk like the bed right here. You can't walk through it.
Mm-hmm.
But I realized I'm like, wow, I'm like, this would be a lot of work to get this all done. But it doesn't mean that it can't be done in a way that you're going to get a return on your investment, right? You would just need to understand the needs of the hotels, right? And maybe they use this for their management, right? They could, maybe their management is all around the world, and you got to bring the decision makers in here to say, hey, yeah, let's put the TV right here. I don't know, it seems kind of too close to the bed. Maybe we should just take it out and not have it there, right?
Right.
So from what I do understand, from what Ben, from the presentations that Ben has given to me, it's basically an analytics that you can use to give quotes out for like doing, weddings and functions and stuff like that. But I think you folks go much deeper than that as well. It's like basically managing the whole hotel itself, like all the infrastructure of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So what I'm thinking is now more than ever, and I don't know what the exit is going to look like with COVID-19, but I think people are zoomed out. I think they're getting really fatigued with it, and there's too much static on Zooms. I think a fully immersive with an avatar is probably what's going to, alleviate a lot of the pain. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's already happening. It's just who's out there making it happen, who's knocking down those doors to showing, showcasing this. And, I'll be the first to say I pride our business on being the concierge. Like, I know it's hard to bring people into new or, to bring change to what they're already used to. But all I can say is like, they have to change with the times, or else, their competition's going to one up them, and then they're not going to be able to get there fast enough, right? And the restaurant industry, I can say for one, that's probably one of the biggest challenges, trying to figure that one out, right? And the thing is, the hotel is the restaurant industry, right? That's a majority of their income, right? So what I'm thinking is how cool it would be to actually create an experience where, you don't necessarily have to be in a restaurant, but what if you're putting, ways to do orders, right? You could do like delivery orders, like Uber Eats and stuff. That's just clickable links in the experience, right? So I would say we just need to get creative. We would actually have to ask the hotels what they've been thinking, and we ask them, what is it that you can't do right now that has to happen in order to keep you in business, right? And if we can take out that chromosome that's been the virus, per se, and replace it with a digital solution, that might be the ticket. So, but we won't know until they actually try it, right? And I'd love to be
definitely.
Yeah, I'd love to be part of the creative process with you folks, and listen to some of the ideas and propose some ideas and stuff, and actually do some demonstrations.
Sure. I'm just hopping around. Sorry.
Yep. Now, being in VR is pretty cool.
Yeah. I have built some VR experiences myself.
Awesome.
It's pretty cool. Ooh, am I in the? Yep, I am in the bed. I am in the. I'm gonna go back to the floor.
Yep. So I think over here we have.
Oh, I think this is great.
Oh, thank you.
I mean, there's obviously some work with the 3D.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the textures look pretty good. Look all right.
Yeah, if we could, I mean, I don't see it being that difficult. I know Blender keeps scaling with what they're doing. Eventually, it's going to be an artificial intelligence. You can just put up, I could take this graphic right here, and it's going to know exactly what it's going to look like, and boom, it's going to correct everything to look like it's in real life, right? And the point cloud technology, those are proprietary platforms, like Matterport, and there's some other ones that are out there as well that I've seen. But it's a really high end service. I think with there you are. Let me know when you're fully rezzed in.
Here.
Okay, so this is our trade show slash like event type setup. We have it in above the world, above the earth, up in the clouds, right? Because I'm always my thing in when I'm creating worlds, I want people to remember being at the experience, right? So everything that you do is an experience, but we realize that businesses do need to get back out there in the event type scenarios and setups and stuff. So we've actually recreated kind of like what you'd be walking through like in Vegas. And right now we're working with a lot of authors, we're working with teachers, we're working with folks that do like meditations and stuff like that. So what we've done is we similar to the booths that you saw at that banquet room, we put them over here. And the cool thing about this is you can actually do clickable, make things clickable, right? So if you come over here and click on this sign right here, you actually go to their website. See the little YouTube video spinning? You can actually see a video. So the cool thing is that I could be the representative of this business, at that, at the booth, and you can ask me any questions about, maybe it's a book that I'm talking about or whatever. So you're getting the first-hand, expert on that product or solution that they offer. Of course, networking too. It's like, you just click on me, you can get my information. Oh, and by the way, if you can hit the friend, I just sent you a friend request, so if we do get disconnected or whatever, I can just teleport to you.
How do I do that in VR? Okay,
so all you got to do is go back into your panel, and then there should be like a little yellow one that's in the chat. All you have to do is accept the friend request there.
In my computer?
No, not on your computer. In the VR headset. So if you click back on your control panel on the left hand, I believe you have a left hand. I think it's A or B on your left controller. It'll pop up the actually in VR. Yeah. And then what you do is go to socialize, go into the chat, and there should be, or the friends and people, and it should be my friend request to you.
Nope, not in my controllers. Is that okay. A controller HTC?
So it should be on your left-hand controller. It should be the A button.
Oh, that's right. Yep. Because I only have the right controller with me.
Oh, okay. Well, you're not gonna be able to get in there. That's okay. On. Okay.
Okay.
There you go. Yeah, so I believe it's your A button, and then you open up that panel, and then there should be the chat. It's the socialize. I think it's the second button over from the airplane. But there should be like a yellow one on it.
It's the third.
There you go. Okay, I got your friend request. Perfect. Okay, yeah, so if you clicked on me, you could actually send me a text. You could know my ID. You could send me a friend request. I mean, we're talking through mic right now, so there's many ways you can communicate with that business. But what we're doing is creating like we're also doing chat bots where if you're not at your booth, you still want to be communicated with. They can actually click on, we call it our chat booth solution, where they can actually be talking to a chat bot, and then if it's either sales or support, it can be divided where it needs to go, and you could be instantly on the phone with that client or customer.
Cool.
Yep. Oh, there we go. Someone just sent me, I'm getting a bunch of friend requests right now from people. Oh, there we go.
I just sent you a new chat.
There you go. Hey. Send it right back to you. Yeah, so you know, I don't want to do all the talking here. Give me some questions that maybe Ben has asked you and ideas, and you know, I'm sure we can come up with some. But most important is the aha moment is when a client comes in with an avatar and says, "Are you a real person?" You start talking to another real person in VR. That's when they're going to have the aha moment.
Yeah, I think for us, it's having that connection with the client and the hotel, you know, that they go all together into one place. So I'm thinking of how would be a solution, if it's possible, with the 360s, and have them sit down on a table, you know what I mean?
Yep.
And chat, because this is pretty solid. Yeah, I would. Let's do this. I will send the recording to him, and I'll have a discussion with him, and we'll take it from there.
Okay, absolutely.
Because I think it looks pretty cool and something that I like the fact of the booths and yeah.
So
cool.
Other potential revenue streams that I'm thinking that we can create that I'm not sure if you're doing right now is actual, you know, yeah, don't jump in there. There's hardly any gravity. The revenue streams that I think are new opportunities for you folks, seeing that you already have penetrated accounts, right, is that avatar creation. I mean, that right there is still a whole new industry that hasn't even been tapped yet, right? So VisiMe could actually become like a, you know, get your business VR ready, right? Or get get digitized to get past the challenges with COVID-19, you know. And what we could do is we could create new businesses within creating avatars, creating custom worlds for your clients, right? And I think, you know, not to try to reinvent the wheel with what you folks already have doing. I think let's figure out how we can create new opportunities, right? So I'd love to have a conversation with you on that. And, you know, what we do with DBI is we're actually building a pretty big community worldwide, and it's no different than a BNI networking group. We're just bringing businesses to the table that help other businesses out, and then we keep our ear to the ground to find out who needs help, and then that's how we're staying together, and that's how we grow our community here. And then what we're finding is people come back to us and say, hey, you know, I like to have a custom avatar, or hey, can you build me, you know, a golf course that I can bring my clients into, right? So that's where we're monetizing with what we're doing. So people asking if you can create something, and then we just say yes to it, and we get started with it.
Cool. Yeah. It's all pretty cool. Yeah, I would have a word with Ben on.
Okay.
We have a couple of meetings scheduled, and hopefully the recording went well.
Yeah, I'm actually recording on my side too. So if yours didn't go well,
okay,
I can send you what I got. So it's going to be
that'll be awesome.
It's going to be my point of view.
Your point of view.
Yeah,
of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. I also told him that I can put him in on the headset once I'm in Portland, which would be in 3 weeks.
Okay.
And he can explore it himself as well.
Awesome.
But I think the most important thing would be checking it out and see how it turns out with the 360. So we might I'll have a word with him and see if we can send you a 360.
Okay.
And see what is possible within the range that we have here.
Right.
Yeah, that'll be pretty interesting. That'll be pretty cool. Thank you. This is great.
Awesome. Okay. Well, I appreciate your time, Antonio. And if there's anything else that you have any other questions and stuff, and I do look forward to seeing those 360 photos and seeing how it would look in this platform and seeing what we can do. And